Kishori saluted Sri Ramakrishna and was about to take his leave. The master blessed him, touching his chest tenderly, and bade him goodbye. His words were full of love. M. and Gopal saluted the master. They too were about to take their leave. He said to them with the same affection, "Couldn't you go tomorrow morning? You may catch cold at night." M. and Gopal decided to spend the night with Sri Ramakrishna. They sat on the floor with a few other devotees. Sri Ramakrishna had had no rest the whole day. The devotees had been with him all the time. He went out for a few minutes. Returning to the room, he saw M taking down a song from Ramlal. "Master, what are you doing?" M said that he was writing down a song. On being told what the song was, the master remarked that it was a rather long song. M wrote a line or two and then stopped writing. A little later, Sri Ramakrishna took his supper of farina pudding and 1 or 2 luchis. A lighted lamp stood on a stand by his side. M sat near him. The master asked if there were any sweets in the room. M had brought some sandesh, which he had put on the shelf. Sri Ramakrishna asked M to give him a sweet. M searched for the sweets, but could not find them. He was embarrassed. They had been given to the devotees. After finishing his supper, Sri Ramakrishna sat on the small couch and M seated himself on the foot rug. The master, talking about Narayan, was overcome with emotion. "Master, I saw Narun today." M. "Yes, sir. His eyes were moist. When I looked at his face, I felt like weeping." Master, the sight of him arouses a mother's love in me, as it were. His relatives beat him at home because he comes here. There is none to defend him. M. The other day he left his books at Huripado's house and fled to you. Master, it was not good for him to do that. Sri Ramakrishna was silent. After a few minutes, he continued. Master, you see, he has much substance in him. Otherwise, how could I be attracted to him, even though I was listening to the kirtan at that time? I had to leave the music and go into the room. That never happened before. Again, Sri Ramakrishna fell silent. A few minutes later, he began to talk. Master, in an ecstatic state. I asked him how he was feeling. He just said he was happy. To M. Feed him now and then, as parents do their child. Sri Ramakrishna then spoke about Tej Chandra. Master to M. Please ask him what he thinks of me. Does he think of me as a jnani? Or what does he say about me? I understand that he is very reticent. To Gopal. Ask Tej Chandra to come here Saturdays and Tuesdays. To M. Suppose I go to your school and look for... M thought that Sri Ramakrishna wanted to go to his school to see Narayan. He said to the master, You might as well wait at our house. Master. No, I have something else in mind. I should like to see whether there are other worthwhile boys in the school. M. Of course you can go. Other visitors come to the school. You can come too. Sri Ramakrishna was smoking. M and Gopal finished their supper. They decided to sleep in the Nahabad. M again sat on the floor near Sri Ramakrishna. Master to M. There may be some pots and pans in the Nahabad. Why not sleep here in this room? M. Very well, sir.